Hey, so in this video you will learn what a Dockerfile is, understand Dockerfile instructions, and also build an image from a Dockerfile. So what is a Dockerfile? So it's a special document that contains instructions for building a Docker image. It automates the process of creating consistent and reusable images, and with it you get version control, so your images can easily have different versions available based on their tags. Also, portability is improved because you can use these images on any operating system that has Docker installed, and the collaboration process is improved because you can rely on pull requests to provide feedback to your peers. So let's dive into Dockerfile instructions. I've actually put them in the order of their importance, at least from my point of view, of course. So without further ado, let's see what we can do with Dockerfiles. So the from instruction creates a new build stage starting from a base image. This means that if you have two from instructions in the same Dockerfile, you will have two build stages. The run instruction executes commands in the base image you use. So inside a Dockerfile, you will have multiple runs, basically. The CMD is the default command your container will run. The entry point specifies the default executable. And basically in interviews, you're going to get a question. So what is the difference between CMD and entry point? So CMD is basically used for providing default arguments for the container's executable, while entry point defines the executable itself. So if you set the CMD command and you are not setting the entry point, the CMD command will actually act as the entry point. There is also the expose instruction, which is basically the ports your application is listening on. We also have the add instructions, which adds files from the host, from URLs, and also has the ability to extract files. There is also the copy instruction, which adds files from the host system. And here again, you will get an interview question. Whenever there is a Docker question, you will see what's the difference between add and copy. You have to remember that add can do more than copy. Add can also add files from URLs, and it can also extract files, while copy can only add files from the host system. Another instruction is arg, so it's a build time variable that can be used in other instructions. env sets environment variables inside the Docker container. The work there just sets the working directory for the next instructions. There is also volume, which creates a mount point with the specified path. There is also shell, which sets the shell. It can be bash, it can be sh, it can be zsh, whatever you want. There is also the user, which simply sets the user. There is also the health check command, which defines a command to test container health. There is also the stop signal, which sets the system call signal for exiting a container. There is also the unbuild command, which specifies commands to execute when the image is used as a base image for another image. So let's say you build your own image, and basically you want to use this as a base for another one. With the unbuild command, basically you will control what happens when this happens. There is also the label, which adds metadata to the image, and there's also the maintainer, which is actually deprecated right now in favor of label, which specifies the image maintainer. So let's suppose you get the following Dockerfile ticket. So you work in an agile environment and you get a ticket. So as a DevOps engineer, I want to build a standard development environment for my team so that we can ensure that everyone develops their code with the same versions. And you also have like a small description here. So our image should have the following. It should start from an Alpine image. It should use Terraform and a specific version, OpenTofu and a specific version, and so on and so forth. So I will now show you how to do this from scratch. So basically what we will have to do is we will create our own Dockerfile. I already have one created right here. And the first thing we will do is we will specify a from. We remembered from the ticket we want to do an Alpine image. Basically, you could do Alpine latest, but this is not the best practice because whenever there is a new image available, your image will be you will recreate this image, so it will have a different operating system version, and this may lead to errors and issues with your image. So as a best practice, you should use a specific version whenever you are creating a Docker file. So let's go to Google and see Alpine base image Docker. So we will go to Docker Hub, and in Docker Hub we can see some supported tags. So we see 3.20. So let's just use this one. So it's 3.20. Now let's set some environment variables for the versions that we want to use. So it was a Terraform version, and this will be equal to, let's go back to the ticket and see, it's 1.5.7. So this is 1.5.7. We will also set the OpenTofu version now. OpenTofu, this was 1.8.1 OpenTofu version. Okay. There was also the Python version. It was Ansible as well, and kubectl. We also had kubectl in here. So let's see the versions again. So for Python we have 3.12, for kubectl 1.28, and for Ansible 2.15. So let's do it like this. So Python version is 3.12.0. kubectl version is 1.28. Oops. And the Ansible version is 2.15.0. Okay, so now we are going to install a couple of prerequisites, and I'm going to use the Alpine package manager, which is apk. We will run apk add no cache, and I'm using the no cache option because this prevents the caching of the package index files, and it actually reduces disk usage and ensures that the latest packages, the latest list of packages is always fetched directly from the repository. So in this way we don't have to worry about the image size, and we don't have to worry that we will not find our packages. And let's install a couple of packages. Curl would be very important because we want to be able to download things. Bash, of course, will also be very important. Let's also install git, wget as well, because I want to show you how to use wget and curl for the same thing, but yeah, just to see it in action. Unzip will also make a lot of sense. What else? Let's install, let's say, py3 pip. So this will install pip for Python package as a Python package manager, and also open SSH client to be able to run SSH commands. And that's it for now. I think we will get back to this. So the first thing we want to install now is Terraform. So to install Terraform, we will just get the archive from HashiCorp's release registry, let's say. So let me search for Terraform releases, and we can go here and let's go and select 1.5.7. And 1.5.7 we will need an AMD package, so this one. Let's copy the link address and let's run wget -o, and now we will specify a name for the archive. So let's say terraform.zip to make it easier to use, and now we can copy this link. So let's remove this version with the variable that we've added here. So we are using these variables because we want to be able to easily update the versions whenever we want to make changes. So this would be very easy to do because we will just have to change it in a single place. So now we've downloaded this archive. We want to be able to unarchive it. So let's run unzip terraform.zip. Oops, terraform.zip. And we want to also move this executable in our path. So mv terraform in user local bin. And now we can actually remove the Terraform archive because we want to save space. We will do the same for OpenTofu. So wget -o opentofu.zip. We have to go and search for OpenTofu package. Installing OpenTofu. Okay. Oh, we can install it directly with Alpine, but I really want to show you how to do it with wget to OpenTofu releases 1.8. So we could go to the GitHub version right here. Let's do 1.8.1 as we've mentioned. So let's see all the assets here, and we will look for an AMD package, AMD 64. And let's see the zip. Okay, Darwin, not Darwin, not FreeBSD. We'll look for a Linux one. So this one is perfect. So let's go here. Okay, and in here we want to again change the version to something that makes sense for us. So we will do it like this. And again, we will unzip the archive. We will move the executable in user local bin. And we will actually remove the archive now. So opentofu.zip. Okay, now we want to install kubectl. So let's install it. Okay, so we will use curl this time. So let's see where we can download kubectl from. Download kubectl. So let's see, installing on Linux. Okay, and we have this command. Let's copy it and let's see what we can do. So basically in here it downloads the latest stable version, but what we can actually do is we can specify the version ourselves. So this would be in a $kubectl version, and basically this downloads it in our directory, in the current directory. So let's give it executable permissions, and now we can also move it into our path. So let's do it like this. Okay, now let's check how to install Ansible on Alpine. So let's search for it, install Ansible Alpine. But we also want to specify a version, so there is a way to do that, and it's not here, so we will have to search a little more. So let's see, again it's like this, but you cannot specify a version, so this is not something that we want to do with a specific version. And I guess this is the one that makes sense from the Ansible documentation. And we can see that this is using pipx. So let's install it with pipx. Let's go back to our terminal. So run pipx install, and the package was Ansible core. So Ansible core, and we will specify the version here with the Ansible version. But we have to take care of this dependency as well, because we don't have pipx installed, so we have to add it here as a dependency. And if I remember correctly, pipx is actually will not actually install your packages in the path, so this means that we have to take care of this ourselves. So let's do like, it has an environment variable called pipx bin dir, and we can say this is user local bin. So this will take care and install pipx packages into this directory. Now let's also specify the work there for our code. So let's say workspace, and in the end let's do a command. So we will do just a bash. I'm not sure if this will work, so we will have to test it. So I'm here in this directory. So what I will do is run a docker build. Let's say dev image 1.0.2, something like this. And of course I have an error because I forgot to do something. So let's see what I forgot to do. Oh, I don't need end here. So let's remove it, because this is not a run command. I'm just specifying environment variables on a multi-line, so we don't need that. Okay, now it seems like I have some other errors as well. Of course, I forgot some other things, so let's solve them, and we will solve them one by one. Let's see what else. Okay, so here I forgot again to add the end and backslash. And now it seems like we are ready to build our image. So this will take a couple of seconds, and I'll speed up for this. Okay, so it seems like we have an error. So let's look into it and understand what has happened. So basically it failed to resolve the process. It seems like I have another curly bracket in here, so I have to delete it. And now you'll see the power of Docker, because the first 4 layers were executed successfully, but the 5th one with kubectl just had an error. So they will be reused, they will be cached, and this will happen very, very fast. And it will just jump into the 5th step, as you can already see. I'll speed this up, of course. So now we are ready to see our image with Docker images. We can see we have a dev image with tag 102. It was created 7 seconds ago. And now let's create a container and see what we have done. So let's do like this, dev image 1.0.2. And I'm running it with terminal interactive because I want to connect to my Docker container and see all the versions we have for our tools. So I am connected now. So let's see a Terraform -v, tofu -v, Python version, and also Ansible version, I guess is the command, and it's 215, and kubectl -version. It's not like this, it's like this, I guess. Yes, it's 128.0. So yeah, this is it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell to be notified when there is a new one available. Thanks for watching.